Hello and welcome to the part 3 of the chapter number 11, that is the file handling, right? In previous part, we learned about the character string. In this part, we learn about the byte string. So let's get started. So, binary string is basically used to store binary data. That means all integer, float, right, double data will be stored using this class, and that can be useful for the numeric calculations, right? We can use these classes for storing inventory detail or employee details, right? It provides the binary string and associated classes for the processing. We have the basically two class, file input string, that is the file output string. This class is used to read and write binary data from the file, and this class or subclass of the file input stream is a subclass of the input stream, and file output stream is a subclass of the output stream. So file output string, right? So which is the subclass of which class? Output stream class, right? Which used to write binary data into the file, right? To use this class, we have to create the file object, right? So we have to pass file object as a constructor argument inside this class, and after that we can use write method to write the binary data into the file. These are the methods that are provided by this class. First one is a close, that basically used to close the open file. Second is the write. In this you can give the any integer value over here, that write the specified byte to the output stream, and byte array should be given over here. Now in this class, constructor will give the two options. First, either you can pass the string values, right, and all the throws one exception, file not found exception. If you are given any incorrect path, your file is not exist at that part. At that time, this exception will be thrown automatically. And the second argument we have, in that we can pass the file class, right? So if you want to give the string value, then you have to give the path like this, and if you want to give the file object, then first we have to create file object, and that file object will be passed as a constructor argument of the file output stream, right? And both are throwing the file not found exception. Next is the file input stream, right? So file input stream is a subclass of which class? Input stream class, that basically we use to read data from the file. What are the method offered by this class? Is a close, is a common method. Read method, right, that basically we use to read a single values, and if you want to write multiple values, then you can pass the byte array as a argument, right, that read that file, read the data from the file and store into the byte array. Now, how can we pass the input from keyboard to the particular file? That means if you want to ask the user to enter value, and that value should be returned to the file, then how we can achieve this, right? So for that, Java will give you two options. The first option is a scanner class, which is basically available in a java.util package. Using this class, we can read the keyboard values that can be you write into the file. Second is the console class, right, which is available in a java.io package, right? So these two classes are available to get input from the keyboard. First, we learn about the scanner class, right? So scanner class is come from the java.util package. It provides the method. Using that, we read the input from keyboard or file as well. Now we must use a special feature, that is breaking input string into the token, right? By default, whole thing is divided by space, white space. So default token is the white spaces. That means if you want to differentiate one word from another word, then it differentiate with the white spaces, or else you can write like this: India dash and 1947. In this, read like string dash integer. These are the constructors which are provided by the scanner class. First, you can give the string, right? Second, you can give the input stream object, and third, you can give the file object over here. So, which are the method we use to read data, right? First one is a close, to close the file. Next is used to read the next string data. right? If you have string and if you want to read that, then you have to use next. Hash next is basically checked. If you are reading from the file, then we don't know whether next character is available or this is end of file, right? So for that, hash next is used. If you want find next character, then you can read, right? Next is a next int. This basically used to read integer data, right? Next is used to read string and this used to read integer. Next float. Float will use to read the float values. Next will basically read the one word only. Whenever space it's terminate. Next line is used to read the whole input, whole line from the console or the file. So these are the different method of this scanner class that we can use. Then how can we create object of this class, right? So this is the for the file object. So scanner object name equal to new scanner, and over this you have to provide the file object, right? The second, if you want to read from the file, this object is used. But if you want to read from the keyboard, then we have to pass the system.in, system input string, right? That will be given as argument that basically read from the keyboard, right? Now for reading integer, we already learned next int method is used to read the class. The second class we have is the console class, right? So console class is available into the java.io package, right? That we use to read data from the keyboard. This is useful to read the hidden input where character is not displayed on the screen, for example, password, right? Now you don't want password to display, right? So for that, the console class is helpful to us, right? It provides the method for reading password, which basically hide the user input for the security purpose. So we study the method available by the console classes. Read line, basically read the line. Read password, that is hidden character. A character will not echoed, not displayed on the console. And print, basically used with a formatted output. Like in C, you are using %D, %C, different format specifier. If you want to use that kind of structure, then we use this method, that is the printf method. Now, this program can be used in a multi-user environment as well. That means if you want multiple users are connected and you want to read all these things at the same time, then this class will provide the facilities. We have again many more different classes also available for the file handling, right? In this we are learning about how can we write the character values and basic primitive data types, right? But we have again separate class available which handle how can we read and write array, how can we read and write some class object. For that again different classes are available but which are not in scope of this syllabus, right? So these are many classes you have to remember about the file handling in Java, right? So that's all about file handling is. Thank you.